righty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going over the St. Louis Cardinals today. We're going to have a look at their now and a little bit of their past. And tonight on Sports Talking with, hey, Buds on the Bat, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. You want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and then we'll bring in the other guest?
Yeah, sounds good. Name's Marshall Landingham from St. Louis, Missouri. Buddies and I, about a month ago, decided to start a podcast called Buds on the Bat. We were just drinking beers at a local bar in St. Louis, talking sports, and here we are now on the show with you. So it kind of all came together.
Right, right. All right, all right. Sounds good. I'm glad I found you in the last minute, kind of.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And I'm glad you came on too. You know, it's always fun to bring more guests of the team and help bring the fan base around because both ends are fans. So it always helps with everything there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, thanks for having me.
All righty, let's bring in the next guest and see who he is. Why, good evening, Cards Rant. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. Just started this Twitter account not too long ago, just because I love baseball, so it's kind of fun to talk on Twitter with everybody and just see what everybody's views are and stuff, and just talk about it.
All right. So, are you in Missouri too, as well?
Yeah, I live in St. Louis.
All right. I have been there three times.
Like it?
I was there for the Thursday night game where Willie Parker pretty much ended his career at the Edwards Zone.
Okay.
And I'm out. But then I was living in PA. Now I live outside of PA, down in Weirton, West Virginia. I'm about 40 minutes away from Pittsburgh. So yeah, you are talking to a major rival here between the Cardinals and the Pirates, but we're not going to get into that today.
You guys did just sweep the Dodgers, at least.
I did like that. It's very nice hearing that the Pirates are actually doing something good.
Yeah, I think we all liked to see that a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's good. You guys got some talent in the farm system too. You guys should be good in the next couple of years.
Yeah, your shortstop situation is looking pretty good coming up.
Every year we hear this, and then they get traded. So around here. Hearing the farm's doing good, that means other teams are going to be doing well soon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it's been, except for those couple years we were in the playoffs.
Hey, those were fun teams to watch, though.
Yeah.
With McCutchen.
Right? Cool. Who else was there?
Josh Bell, was he around then?
Josh Bell was there, yes.
Garrett Cole.
I still don't know how you guys traded him away. Ooh.
We were never going to be able to afford him.
Yeah.
Shame. Didn't you guys had Taylor, the guy for the Yankees, right, for a while?
Sometimes when the deal's on the table, you take it.
They had Glasnow too.
Right, Glasnow went to Tampa, I think, in that year of trades, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Austin Meadows.
Or the following year. But anyway, we're not here to talk Buccos. Even though if you wanted to, we could talk about the Lou Piniella and Lloyd McClendon series. Because that was always fun to watch because them two did not like each other.
Lou Piniella doesn't like anybody.
I mean, those two couldn't even meet at home plate half the time whenever they were doing scorecards. All right, so I don't know how old you guys are. Were we around for the 82? I mean, you guys have 11 World Series. How many have you gotten to see?
I've gotten to see two. I remember the 2004 when we got swept. I remember the 2006 when we won. That was pretty cool underdog moment. And then 2011, nobody can forget David Freese. That was a game to remember.
That dude was on fire.
Yeah, he was unreal. But yeah, I'm the same way. I remember getting swept in 04, beat the Tigers 06, 11, and then 13. 13 was actually the first time I got to legally drink alcohol and watch a Cardinals World Series in downtown St. Louis, and that was awesome, even though we only won, I think, a game or two. But it was still a great experience.
All right. You guys know that back in 1835, the St. Louis Browns had a split with the World Series over a dispute.
Really?
Yeah.
You say 1835?
1885.
85. Okay.
Yeah, they went 79-33, and they split with the Chicago White Stockings 3-3, and they had a tie. It didn't say what the dispute was about, but I'm sure it was about because like I think the following year they had the little gambling episode, I believe.
I think gambling was 1919. I think. The Black
1919 was the Black Sox scandal with
that was
Joe
the
and all
white
that.
that was the Black Sox scandal.
Yeah, good movie.
All right, but I forgot to put my little stats up there. Anyway,
making us look good.
So I'm sure Ozzie Smith's talked about it a lot with you guys. I know we're short on time, so I'm going to try and rush it a little bit because you guys said we got about 45, 50 minutes maybe, right?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay. So is Ozzie Smith well talked about in St. Louis still, or is that a dissolving figure, or is there another good shortstop coming up? I know you guys mentioned that the farm did have someone coming up recently before we started the show.
Yeah, Bird's on the bat. You got this one first.
Oh yeah, Ozzie's back every year. I mean, he's a Cardinal Hall of Famer, MLB Hall of Famer. He's in commercials. I mean, I would say every Cardinal game you see Ozzie Smith, whether it's a commercial or he's there live or whatever the situation is. I would say outside of maybe New York, like we probably do it, and maybe Boston, do the alumni the best. I mean, our opening day is just crazy with ex MLB guys that or ex Cardinals that come back and everything. I mean, it's probably an hour and a half festivities before the game. I mean, it's good. Yeah, Ozzie's definitely around. Best shortstop we'll probably ever have.
Yeah, I mean, like piggybacking off what you said, I mean, we had Stan Musial coming out there literally until the year he died. He was getting golf carted out there every single year. It's just really cool. It's something, even if you're not a Cardinal fan, it's something you need to go see, at least once in your life because the Cardinals do it different. It's cool to see all the old timers come out and see all of them, even though we're starting to lose a lot of them with Brock passing away and Gibson too. And, hopefully a couple of the other guys stick around for a little bit longer, but yeah.
Okay. So is that mainly the retired numbers they all try to bring out? Is that what they do? They try to bring out their number Hall of Fame?
Not necessarily. I mean, the Cardinals actually, back whenever they started building Ballpark Village, they started off the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and they bring out pretty much all of their red jacket candidates that are still alive. So most recently we had like Jim Edmonds and Jason Isringhausen and a bunch of guys, Scott Rowland, a bunch of guys from like that 2000 to 2006, 7 range. They come out there too now.
That was a dangerous time for you guys. I mean, Jim Edmonds and then Scott Rowlands and then Albert Pujols. That was a dangerous 3 to face. It was like it was almost like the Biggio, the Baggio. I mean, the Biggio, Bagwell, and was it Bergman?
Yeah, Bergman.
Yeah, the Killer Bees.
Yeah,
that Beltron for half a year in that.
Yeah, that would. I mean, back then our Central Division was pretty stacked with players you could watch every night, whether it was from back in the '98, whenever we had the Sosa and McGuire home run fest. That was fun to watch for me. I got to see that. I was around for that one.
I was still a little bit too little to kind of remember it, but I mean, I've watched all the highlights, and I watched that new 30 for 30 that they came out with not too long ago on it, and it's a pretty cool story.
I did not see that yet. I'll have to put that in my TV program there. Is it a brand new one? It just came out, Brant?
It came out. What do we say? Like a year and a half ago, maybe.
Yeah,
it was kind of a COVID thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out.
Came out, so it was overshadowed a little bit.
Yeah, it was because The Last Dance was on at the same time.
Okay. Now, of them retired numbers, did anyone find it awkward that the Cardinals also put a 42 into the retired number Hall of Fame to go with Jackie Robinson? Who was it? Bruce Sutter, I believe.
Bruce Sutter.
Bruce Sutter, yeah.
Bruce Sutter, yes.
He's one of the greatest closers of all time. So he was an 80s guy. He was an 82 World Series closer, I think.
Yeah, he played with us up until like 85, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's no different than Mariano Rivera. His number was automatically retired, but I mean, he was wearing 42 and everybody else's was retired. So
I think you and the Yankees are the only ones with a 42 extra retired, if I recall doing my quick research.
I think so. Yeah, Bruce Sutter, he's legendary just because he pretty much reinvented the closer role, and he he dominated with that one pitch, the splitter. So, I mean, he was dominant for 5 years, untouchable.
Yeah, I think he's an MLB Hall of Famer, isn't he, as well?
Yes.
Yeah, Bruce Sutter.
13,
he got elected in like
his 13th year of eligibility. I just wanted to clarify that real quick. 2006, he got in.
Yeah, correct.
But he didn't make the Cards Hall of Fame until 2014. Does anyone know why there was a delay in that one?
So that's because the Cardinals Hall of Fame wasn't established until 2014 when Ballpark Village was built.
Okay, and that was in that. Yeah, I didn't see where that was. Is that like in the outfield, like Yankee Stadium, or
Ballpark Village? If you ever watch a Cardinal game, it's all those big buildings right behind left field.
Okay, have you been there?
Yeah, it's really cool.
You gotta when you make a trip to watch the Pirates play, you gotta check it out. I mean, it's like now they have it where there's like outdoor bars set up. You don't have to go into the stadium. You can just watch it on a TV, play bags, drink some Bud Lights with the boys, and it's a good time. It's a really good time.
Okay.
I personally really like going there to watch Blues games.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, they open it up for Blues games too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it gets really rowdy.
It gets rowdy for the the Missouri Valley Conference basketball tournament. So a lot of Missouri Valley. I mean, it's mid-major basketball, but you have a ton of schools within 3 or 4 hours of St. Louis. So it's called Arch Madness. And I mean, it'll just be packed in there. All the alum, like Carbondale's playing, Illinois State or whatever, Missouri State's playing. Back when Wichita State was in the conference, it was even bigger because they were obviously a top 10 team in the country. But it's a good time.
Okay, so I thought it was just connected to the stadium, but obviously that part is open year round, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep, year round. Yeah, they have apartments in there and everything, so it's.
Oh, okay.
Even though the apartments cost a fortune to live in.
I was just getting there. Now, do those apartments come with season tickets? Can you watch out the window? Can you see the field from them, or don't you guys know?
So there's apartments that actually face the field, and I know those cost a lot more than the ones that face the arch. I think the price difference is a good like $500 a month or something like that. $500, $800 a month. Hey,
you want to watch Cardinal baseball year round and live there?
Yeah, it's out of my tax bracket, so I don't even know what the cost would be.
It's definitely out of my yeah. Okay. So, what else can you tell me what's going on with this year's team?
Buds, you got this one first to start it off.
Man, you're always making me lead off. I would say they're overachieving. I talk about it a lot on our podcast. They got to get some pitching, but 2 all-stars in the middle of the order. Tommy Edmonds playing like an all-star. The young guys are playing great. Gorman, Yepes, Donovan. I mean, the list goes on. It just seems like every year the Cardinals just have somebody that comes up and does well. But the pitching staff, we need a little bit of bolstering. We don't have Jack Flaherty, which is huge, but he hasn't been healthy in about 2 years, so I'm not confident that he's going to be Jack Flaherty from 2019.
I have Jack Flaherty on my top baseball 2022 game on my phone. Does that count? I don't
As long
know
as
if
he's
he's
performing on there.
he's my ace, so
Hey, he's an ace when he's healthy. I mean, Miles Michaels struggled with health for about 3 years, and he's throwing great, throwing like an all-star. Dakota Hudson's been great the last month, but you can just tell with our bullpen it's been overused, and we just got a lot of injuries. Not having Flaherty and Reyes is huge.
Yeah, I think one guy it's kind of probably getting time to move on from is probably McFarland. I mean, he was clutch for us last year. I loved watching him pitch. He came up in big situations and got us out of them. This year, I mean, he's just not there. Just I don't know. His pitches don't seem the same. He doesn't seem to have like the same fire as he did last year. So I think it'd be nice if we could add a little bit of bullpen depth here in the coming months.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And I was never a pitcher when I played ball, but I can only imagine guys go out of the bullpen. We had like Giovanni Gallegos. He threw 72 times I think last year, and then everybody's bitching because he's struggling. And it's like he threw 72 times. Like that's just unreal. He basically threw half the games for the Cardinals.
Yeah. My only problem with Giovanni is the fact that he puts me on high stress levels whenever he's pitching in the ninth. He always gets out of it, but he's always walking somebody at first, and then he takes forever to throw a ball.
They wouldn't be a Cardinal closer if they weren't stressful.
I was just gonna say that.
Jason Mott, Jason Isringhausen, man.
He went through it.
Yeah.
It seemed like when he went through his slump, though, there was no coming out of it for him.
Yeah. Trevor Rosenthal.
Rosenthal's another one.
Trevor Blosenthal.
Well, I was, is that what you guys ended up calling him? Because he went through, like, something just happened to that guy. He was so good, and then it seemed like he had 2 bad games, and he just could never get his head back to where it was before that. That really throws, I don't know. I'm not a major league pitcher, so I don't have that stress and, finding that form or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and I can only imagine. I mean, even pitching in front of nobody is stressful. I can't imagine what it's like to go out there knowing your game's a little off and you're pitching in front of 30,000+ people.
And 200,000 Twitter haters that no matter what you do, you're not good enough. It's like nitpicking everything. I mean, they're human. I can only imagine you're looking at your DMs or whatever, your messages and getting called Blosenthal or, whatever the situation is. So,
well, I know it's got to be a lot different. Like you guys just said, I mean, Yin's average, saw 30,000 almost a game in fan attendance. Is that about right?
I think we're second in the league right now. I think it's 38,000. We're behind the Dodgers, just behind the Dodgers.
Yeah, we're lucky to get 6, 7 a night.
Hey, it's better than the Oakland A's right now.
Are they on the move to Vegas too? Are they following the Raiders?
Honestly, I think it's inevitable. I mean, the stadium deal, everything I've read about the stadium deal they're trying to get done over in Oakland is just the city council doesn't want to approve it, and it's too much money. They don't want to fund it. And, I don't know. It's a messy situation. So I could see something happening with them moving here soon. But I know their stadium lease is still a couple more years. It runs a couple more years. So.
I mean, how long do you want to play in that place, though? I know the Coliseum. I know the Coliseum's got a lot of memories, but it's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, not where you want to play.
I personally haven't been there, but I mean, it looks like one of the most boring stadiums in Major League Baseball, I would say.
I mean, when it was a football stadium and baseball field, that was neat to see.
Yeah, it's like the only one left, I think. Dual use.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you think they're going to build a new stadium, or you think they would turn Regent Field into a ball field too?
I don't know if the Raiders would allow that.
I wasn't sure. I mean, we are talking about Vegas. They could probably build one tomorrow,
Probably.
Because that region feels pretty nice, at least from pictures. I've never actually been there, but I'd like to.
Are the Mets still? Is their AAA team still in Vegas? I know they were there for a while. I can't think of what they're called, but
I
The
haven't been.
51s.
yeah, 51s. They could just play. They could just play in a AAA park. It'd be better than what they're doing now.
I mean, it
haven't-
really would be though.
I have not been to Vegas since 2009. Was out there for 311. So definitely no sporting events going on there for me. But that was the last time I was in Vegas.
Man, if I went to Vegas, I'd lose too much money.
Well, you guys have that little gambling thing right on the shore there too, right?
Who does?
You guys do.
We
Right?
have Casino Queen right across the river, but I'm not.
Is that
gambling
across the river?
across
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on the
Yeah.
Illinois side, so I can gamble anytime. Missouri is a little bit. You can't sports bet in Missouri.
Yeah,
No.
not yet.
There's no
Hopefully
slot
soon.
machines and bars, none of that fun stuff.
So
Hey, we got cheaper gas though.
Wait, yeah, $5 a gallon. Glad I can work from home.
Right.
oh, we're at 451.
Ooh.
So did you guys know that in 1934, after you guys won the World Series, the Cardinals amassed the new thresholds of popularity far outside of St. Louis by the radio, of course. Obviously, I don't even think TV was invented then yet. Did you know that you guys were the first ones to start with the whole like Team Cardinal Nation? Like you got the Bills Mafia now. You got you guys started the original Cardinal Nation.
I didn't know we were the first to be a nation, but I know KMOX was one of the biggest radio stations back then, and having Jack Buck on air was amazing.
He's legendary.
Yeah, and then I think
Harry
at that
Carey.
time Harry Carey too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
know.
a bunch of because I got family out in Colorado, and there's a lot of Cardinal fans in Colorado before the Rockies came to Denver because of that. So I kind of knew a little bit, but I didn't know it was that we were the first. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Did you guys know that when I had the Brewers and Cubs rivalry on Monday, they actually talked about doing a broadcasting host to see who had the best one and let them go at it.
Really?
Would you guys be willing to come back for that one? We got Bob Uecker, Harry Carey, and Jack Buck. I mean, don't get me wrong. My Pirates have had someone, Tom Prince, Lanny Fratteri. I mean, we've had some good ones too.
I mean, we even had Mike Shannon there for a long time. I mean, he just retired after this past year, but Mike Shannon, he followed Jack Buck and did an amazing job. I loved listening to Mike Shannon whenever I was growing up and up until this past year. But I mean, towards his end, you kind of tell he probably had a few too many whiskeys while he was calling the games.
Yeah, for sure. No, he was great. I like Rick Ankiel too. I know he doesn't necessarily do Camo X, but he's on TV. He does a good job of talking. It's kind of like a Tony Romo of the game. Jim Edmonds, though, we can let him go anytime.
He has to check a text message every couple minutes.
I saw Jim Edmonds last at bat, and his Achilles blew again when he was rounding bases. But his last hit in the MLB was a home run, so I did feel good about that.
Yeah,
Jim Edmonds was a hell of a center fielder.
He was really good. He has
Just
one of the best
asking
catches of all
podcast.
time.
I mean, he was all over the damn place. Like, yeah. I mean, those Cardinals came to town. You guys have a hell of a following too. But don't get me wrong, it's very easy for visitors to get tickets at PNC Park. But your Cardinals traveled in bunches, kind of like the Steelers fan base travels in bunches. Because I remember when we were at that Thursday night game, I'm pretty sure it was 90 to like 10% Steeler fans.
That doesn't surprise me because the Rams pretty much wore out their welcome because they kept on putting just garbage teams out on the field for years. So
Yeah, they were tanking for more than just 1 or 2 years. It was pretty bad, pretty obvious what they were doing.
I mean, they tanked pretty much, I would say, from like 2002 up until they left in 16.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys miss football? Or are you excited? Are you guys thinking you're going to get an XFL team? I know I'm off track, but that was just a question I had.
I'm a big Battle of Hawks guy.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Nation.
get I mean, we had the biggest attendance for. I mean, the fan base wasn't the problem of why the team left. The Battlehawks will lead the league in attendance for sure in the XFL. That'll be fun.
So if they come back, you guys will be covering them on your podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm a huge football fan in general. I mean, we'll probably on ours. We'll probably start talking fantasy football now that the Blues lost. We'll probably start talking that here in the next couple weeks. So it'll be fun. I look forward to football season every year.
Are you now? Who are your teams now that you've lost your NFL team?
I personally wasn't ever a huge Rams fan because I was born in '96, so I was still too little to kind of remember the greatest show on turf. But I always kind of followed the
Isaac
Saints.
Bruce, Torrey Holt, jeez, Marshall.
I've always been a pretty big Saints guy.
Oh, all right, Saints guy.
Saints. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan, so I'm on there. But I actually I didn't have a team for a few years, and then last year I had a few too many beers at a work happy hour. Woke up and I'd ordered $300 worth of Miami Dolphins gear. So I'm a Miami Dolphins fan because of that. So.
Okay, all right.
It's a good story to tell, you know. It's like I got wasted at a work happy hour and bought a bunch of Dolphins shit.
Hey, they got good colors at least.
Hey, Tyreek Hill, Tua, we're going to the Super Bowl, no doubt.
I saw Tua was trending on Twitter today, but I didn't get a chance to click on it.
Because he was throwing bombs to Tyreek in practice, I think.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he looked good. I wouldn't call them bombs. It's not like Joe Burrow throwing the football or Big Ben in his prime, but it was.
I started doing like a schedule breakdown, and it takes a lot longer than you think. So we started doing divisions, and we only got 3 done so far. But I was focusing on baseball. I wanted to try and get as many baseball teams as I could before I went into football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I reached out to you guys, fan base, talking team. That's what I wanted to do.
I kind of feel like a good comp is for the Steelers is the Cardinals. Like consistently, like a bad year for the Cardinals is like just above 500. Bad year for the Steelers is like the last couple of years, like barely missing the playoffs, but in it till week 17 or 18, whatever they play now. You know, lots of championships. You always have a couple of Hall of Fame players. I don't know. I think it's kind of great fan bases. I'd love to be in Pittsburgh for a playoff run, drinking beers watching Big Ben taking the team to a championship.
We haven't been to the championship game, and we haven't won. It was since 2010. We lost to Green Bay. 11 was that 10, 11? I don't even remember. But just to let you know, the Steelers have only won 3 playoff games since the loss to Green Bay.
Damn.
Yeah, this city's kind of fallen into the, hey, we didn't get under 500, so we had a great year.
Yeah, and you only got a couple of more years of Crosby probably. I mean, he's getting pretty old. He's getting up there in age too, so Penguins.
He's still a top 5. He's still a top 5 though.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I went to 2 games this year. I went to Edmonton, and then the first game I went to was against St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I did get to see St. Louis play the Penguins. That was the game where Tarasenko took that stupid penalty at the end.
Blues were kind of banged up this year. Their D line was all over the place this year, I felt like.
At least you guys went to the second round.
True.
The Gloria years, huh? Were you guys down in Village City for all that, or
for 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went down there for every single game.
I was actually in St. Louis during that time. I was working, but we were only there for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to really, get the vibe, but I got the vibe that everyone was excited and ready. Everyone was in hockey mode, and it was like 100 degrees. It felt like.
Yeah, it was a fun
Everybody's wearing
time.
their sweaters.
Yeah, my father-in-law's season ticket, so we went to a couple of playoff games. I'm more of a playoff hockey fan. I'm not gonna lie, but if it wasn't for my father-in-law, I probably wouldn't even watch the Blues. I would just root for him because it's St. Louis. But that was a fun run and lots of beers drank for sure.
Did you guys go to the parade?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it was a good time.
it was extremely fun. I drank way too many beers.
Oh, see that makes it all the better.
Right.
I mean, if you come back with saying you're sober, unless you had work that night, which I think the whole city probably shut down,
Pretty much.
except for those couple bars and restaurants because people still had to eat and absorb all the liquor.
I mean, that
So
was probably the most people I've ever seen downtown at one time.
Yeah, it was.
Did they give an estimate on how big the parade was?
I know there was a number. I completely forgot about it though.
I don't know how they keep track of that number because there's way too many people.
They would have. I mean, I would be willing to bet it was over 1 million.
I would bet so too. Like Cardinal parades are crazy, but that Blues parade, I've never seen anything like that
It
before.
was your first Stanley Cup ever, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Brett Hall was just like the life of the party. It was nuts.
Get drunk like Hull.
Yeah, it was a good time.
You guys had a good time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
any
So
excuse to drink in St. Louis. That's pretty.
So
much
do we drink Budweiser because it's like the Bud place?
Actually, St. Louis's beer is Bud Select.
Ooh, I was gonna say Busch Light. I drink a
Busch
lot of
Light.
Busch Light where I'm at.
I'm a big Bud Select guy. I love Bud Select.
I'll drink Bud Select too. If you Busch Light, Bud Select, it probably
Is
makes
that like their seltzers?
But
That's
Bud
like a-
Select.
Yeah. What I don't. I'm not aware of what Bud Select is.
Bud Select is pretty. Honestly, Bud Select's pretty much just Bud Light, but brewed for St. Louis, essentially.
Yeah, it's like Budweiser's light beer. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's just
Yeah,
the Bud Light beer, but it's for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has like the arch on it and stuff, and
Yeah.
Now, are you guys collectors? Do you just put one away just to have it?
I collect all of the championship beer cans. So I have one from 2000. I have two from 2006, two from 11. I have a bunch of 2019 Blues ones. Yeah, that I pretty much just collect the championship beers.
You collect any bobbleheads or anything just for whenever you go live or anything, just to have in your background?
I actually do. I have two giant gallon bags full of bottle taps right now because I wanna make my own bar top.
Oh,
one
sweet.
day. So I'm gonna put them all on my bar top and put some epoxy all over it and make it look all nice.
Sweet. You do anything there, Bear Buds?
No, I probably should, but my background's just this is my work office.
I tried to get it motivated today. I got like a Mahler's jersey. I got some MLB bats to my left here.
Make it look real official.
I tried. I got great Jason Jennings, Chris Steins, and a Craig Wilson bat.
Nice.
So that's. I mean, I have a bunch of bobbleheads and stuff, but obviously there's no shelves behind me. So, and I didn't get a chance to. I just watched this show last night about, hey, make your background look good and stuff, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah, we're on Spotify, I think. So I don't even know if people even Apple Podcasts. So I don't even know if people actually can see us when we're talking or if it's just words. I have no clue.
Gotcha.
If you want to, just hang a flag up behind you.
I could do that too. I could do, yeah.
Bring some
Just
color
drop
in
the
there.
Cardinals flag.
What are you guys saying? It's pretty bland. Well, I mean, it's only my third show live, so I'm still learning. Way beginning podcaster here. Apparently, but I do have 18 shows, so I don't know if that's still beginner or not.
Yeah, this is only my fourth time doing something like this. So 3 with the Buds, and then now here.
So what are all of the Cardinals' nicknames?
Like the players,
No, just nicknames of the team.
we call Redbirds, um, Cards. Um, if you're ever at Bush, they used to call all the fans the Sea of Red. I always thought that was pretty cool. What
What's
you
that?
got? You got anything else, Buds?
Birds. That's pretty much.
Birds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
They were known as the baseball Cardinals from 1960 to 1987.
Really?
But you were right on all your other nicknames. I didn't see the Sea of Red though.
I forgot about it because we have the St. Louis Cardinals now, the Arizona Cardinals here.
I didn't see the Sea of Red. Was that like a college whiteout day whenever you're watching college football? Is that what that came from?
The Sea of Red?
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of something all the players used to call the fans because they always said like looking into the seats, it was like a sea of red. So it's kind of more of a fan thing, I guess. But I always thought it was kind of cool.
Now, do you guys ever look back at some of the older parks and like any of them a little more than like Bush or, what do we got? We got Sportsman Park, we got Robinson Field. You guys ever look back and go, I just wanted to see it and see what it looked like, or, is there like, do you guys still talk about these fields or no?
I mean, I think it would have been really cool to see a game at Sportsman's Park. I mean, my grandpa, he told me Sportsman's Park was super run down, but I mean, it'd still be cool. Busch Stadium 3, obviously, I think is probably the best of the 3 that we've had so far. But I never got to see a game at Old Yankee Stadium. I think that would have been really cool.
I was there once.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was like the old one or like it was the rejuvenated one, but it was like the first of the rebuild, I guess. But I got to see it twice. I got to see the Pirates play there twice. We did the road trip with a bunch of buddies. We went to Yankee Stadium, then we went to Fenway. We did that road trip. That was a good time. That was fun.
I heard it costs a fortune to go to a Yankee game.
It was horrible. Like when I bought tickets, I bought them for the outfield, and the outfield is not connected to the rest of the stadium.
Really?
So you could only stay in the outfield. We weren't allowed to walk around. We were kind of like we were irritated. And that was the game Randy Johnson pitched almost a complete game shutout. We scored 1 run, I think, in the 9th, and it was 6-1 final.
Pretty cool game to see, though, still.
Yeah, we had fun. Don't get me wrong, we had a blast, but still, you go to a stadium, you want to walk around and tour it and see it,
right?
And then being told, "Hey, you're in the outfield, you got to stay in the outfield." We're like, "What the hell?" But we were right above the Pirates bullpen, so we were BSing with them for a minute. That was fun. Have you guys traveled to any stadiums? Have you gone across to like Kauffman Park or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been to probably at least 8 or 9 stadiums.
Oh, okay.
So Cincy, Kansas City, the old Arlington Park, Arizona, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Miami.
The new Atlanta or the old one?
I was there in 20. I think it was Turner at the time. Yeah, I was playing. It was like 2008 or 9. I was still playing ball.
I would like to go see the new SunTrust Stadium. That looks pretty. It's not even called SunTrust anymore. They already changed the name of it.
Yeah, I wanted to go there. I coached like a club team in St. Louis when I got done playing, but it was like Atlanta traffic's ridiculous. So you couldn't get across. It was like an hour and a half drive with all the traffic and everything to get over there. So I didn't make it.
Well, isn't it quicker to? Don't they have the transit take you right to the stadium? Actually.
Yeah, but we were staying in like a suburb. We were playing down like the east. It's called like East Cobb complex down there. So I was in like Carterville or some shit. It was like 45, 50 minutes without traffic. So it just didn't work out. But that's probably on the bucket list of stadiums at some point.
Okay. So you went Cincinnati. You went.
Oh, and Wrigley. I've been to Wrigley when I was a kid.
So which one was your favorite out of the ones you've been to so far? You can say the home stadium if you really want to should be a homer.
No, I mean honestly, probably Wrigley. Like all the history. Like I'm a big history guy. And, like seeing I follow like the baseball stadium history on Twitter, and like you see like Forbes Field and like the Polo Grounds and stuff. I always feel like that would be really cool. But definitely a fan of Wrigley.
Yeah, I would agree. Wrigley was really cool. I went back in what was it summer of 2015 whenever they were renovating the whole outfield. So you couldn't sit in the outfield really, but no, it's really cool to go there just because I mean there's so many different players that are in the Hall of Fame that have played there. There's a lot of history there. It was really cool. Although their bathroom was terrible.
Yes. I've been to Wrigley twice. I got to sit behind home plate one time, and then in the upper deck the second time.
Mhm.
Where'd you guys sit?
I was up in the upper deck, but even though I was sitting way up in the upper deck, like one of the last seats, and
Oh, geez.
it's still one of the closest seats you can get to the field. It's crazy how close those seats can get to the field, even if you're far away.
Okay.
Yeah, I was behind home plate. I just remember having to look to my left because there was a pole, like to the right, like by my right knee. If that makes sense. I just always remember having to look around, but it was good. I mean, it's just an old stadium. Like I felt like I was right on top of the people next to me.
Yeah.
I love how they still have the restricted view seats.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was, but it wasn't like I was in a restricted view, I guess you would say.
Yeah, Three Rivers, and I thought Three Rivers, Riverfront, and Bush were all in the vet were all like the same stadiums, football, baseball combined into one. They look like the same stadiums.
Yeah. Busch Stadium was pretty cool though because they had the way the roof was. They had the arches, so whenever the sun was setting, you could always see all the arches all over the field. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you ever look up any pictures of Bush too, some of the arch shadow pictures are pretty cool.
Have you guys ever gone in the arch?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you do it once, you did it. Good job.
Yeah. Well, I guess when I have kids, I'll go back. But
the elevators to get up to the top are tiny.
That's what my dad said. They're real tiny, and if you're not good at claustrophobia, you're not going to do very well in them.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I'm not a fan.
What about your famous fudge factory? You ever gone there?
We have a famous fudge factory. That's news to me.
The Anus Fudge Factory?
I haven't been there. No.
Really? It's really good fudge. I still have a piece in my fridge actually. My dad just got back from there, and I was like, "You got to stop there and get fudge."
Yeah, I have been on a couple Anheuser-Busch tours though. If you go on Anheuser-Busch tours, you get some free beer. That's kind of nice.
People say you get pretty fucked up going on those tours.
Yeah, you get a lot of free beer.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you just keep asking for beers.
Yeah.
I did not do that when I was there.
That's a must. You got to try that.
I probably should have. So if I'm ever back in St. Louis, I'm calling you boys, and we're gonna go do this.
Oh, I'm down.
I'll be there.
All right. We got a deal. I'm not gonna say a date because. But yeah, I'd love to come to St. Louis and get like a tour of not being at work and be able to enjoy myself. You know, I think that'd be pretty wild.
St. Louis has this bad rep, which I mean, some of it's expected, I guess, if you go on the north side. But if you go in this right parts of St. Louis, like there's a lot of really, really cool stuff.
Okay.
Really good food too.
So before we ask the other question, what's it like watching this Wainwright and Molina? Every game is closer to a milestone.
Start us off, Rant.
It's really cool. It's honestly, it's something cool for me just because every time I watch them pitch, it kind of brings me back to my childhood a little bit. And even having Pools out there now too,
I was going to ask about Pulis in a minute, but we can if you want to go into that gentleman right there, you can. That's fine. I was getting there.
Just watching all those guys out there, I feel like I'm, a kid again, and that, just watching the game for 2 hours, I get excited, even though Pulis is going up there and he's hobbling up to the plate and walking to first base, and Yachty, he's not the same catcher anymore either. He's still good, but he doesn't block as much anymore. He just kind of gloves everything at this point. Wainwright's still killing it though. I mean, he had those couple bad years, and he's always talked about how he reinvented himself, and he figured out how to throw his pitches and study the batters the night before and pitch a complete game. So he's not just trying to throw it past people anymore. He's become a real true pitcher, just like Greg Maddux almost.
So I mean, obviously the power's not there. Is that why he changed it up to learn how to pitch longer into games?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Wainwright's pitching percentages on his pitches, I mean, he's mainly throwing curveballs and changeups. His fastball is one of the pitches he throws the least.
Yeah, he makes it look, he's making 88 look 98 just with how he spots up his off-speed pitches and things. It's great to watch. I mean, I think Waino's 10 wins from 200 in his career. Every time Yachty catches, I think he's, breaking one of Johnny Bench or Ivan Rodriguez's records.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Right now, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch Yachty too. Right now, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
It's cool to watch Yachty right now too, just because I think he's 15 or 14 hits away from tying Yogi Berra for all time on catchers for hits. So it's kind of cool to watch that.
I did not see that stat, but I will have to look that one up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, how many times in your life are you going to see two? I don't know what you think about Yachty in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I know people outside of St. Louis kind of shit on him sometimes, but 2 first ballot Hall of Famers with Yachty and Pujols. It's like, how many people get to say that they got to witness that, and then they're going out at the same time? It would be like if Rivera and Jeter retired in the same year. It's like, not only are you doing one retirement tour, but you're basically, it's like the Beatles type thing. I don't know. It's awesome. And Waino's right there. I think if he retires after this year, he's not a Hall of Famer. But if he comes back and he wins 15 more games next year and pitches like an all-star, I mean, you've got to put him up there with like Scherzer and some of the – he's not – obviously hasn't had the career Scherzer has, but you're putting him in that same category, maybe a tier below, but knocking on the door of being a Hall of Famer.
Do you think guys talk about that? Like, they all know their first-time ballots and – how wild that would be to have Cardinal Nation at Cooperstown inducting all 3 of them at one time. Do you think they talk about that? Because they are all first-time ballots. I mean, there's no way they're not going to be in on first-time ballot.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that Pujols and Yachty haven't had some little drinking conversations in the off season about stuff like that. I mean, if you watch them since Yachty was up in 2004, those 2 have been best friends. I can't imagine what it'd be like to go into the National Baseball Hall of Fame with, your best friend right by your side, going in with you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's come up. I'm sure that's why Albert, part of the reason that he came back to St. Louis, I think the DH obviously played a role, but I think it's like one of those storybook endings, and that Hall of Fame day for them, 7 years from now. I think it's 7 years for baseball, but that'll be, that'll kind of be the sign off of everything. It'll be crazy. That'll be it'll be like winning a championship that day, I feel like, for Cardinal Nation.
Mm-hmm. Might have to have a parade for him.
Yeah.
Is Paul Goldschmidt going to break the hits record?
Man.
I don't want to jinx. I didn't even want to ask this question because I feel like I could jinx the whole damn thing.
I mean, I hope that'd be really cool to see. There's been guys that have gotten way closer than he is right now, though.
You talking about the hit
Then again-
streak?
He's on a hell of a tear.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing tonight.
He's 1 for 2. He had a double off the wall.
So
I
he's
think they
already
put him
got
up
his hit for the night. What is he at? 38, 39?
He's at 24.
24, but I think his on base streak is at like 30 something.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was okay. I got them mixed up. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Sorry.
I thought you were talking about the season hits record. Like he was going to have
Oh, he's on him. He's on 24. I mean, we still have a while to go, but I'm sure that talks in the slow motion in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, I think this could be the first year we see Goldschmidt make the All-Star team for the Cardinals too. I think that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, I said on our last podcast that we had, I said he's had great seasons for St. Louis. We've just kind of been an average team. I mean, the one year we went to the NLCS, but like we haven't really had the hype around us.
Mhm.
And I mean, if he has a couple more good years, I mean, at this point he'll be a 7-time All-Star after this year. He's got to be knocking on the door of Cooperstown as well.
Yeah.
I think he's still got a little bit to go, obviously, but he's had a hell of a career. You just kind of forget how great he was in Arizona because they were just so bad for so long. I mean, he was putting up monster numbers there too.
I think if he could have another 4 years, maybe 5 years at the production that he is right now, I think he'd be a lock for the Hall of Fame for sure.
Yeah, he's been unreal, and with the DH, I think now he's probably staying in St. Louis for life at this point.
Right, and with Walker coming up in the next couple of years, you know, it makes you able to put Goldschmidt over in the DH role and then put Walker over at first, possibly.
Definitely. I mean, I think Walker's probably on the big league club next year.
I think it's a good chance.
I mean, he's AA with a 1,000 OPS. I mean, we haven't had a hitting prospect like this since Pujols and Tavares, so it's definitely exciting. And as great as Nolan Gorman is, Nolan Gorman's not even on the same level as Jordan Walker.
No, I agree. Gorman,
I don't know anything about your farm, but this kid sounds like he's pretty damn good.
Dude,
Jordan Walker is. He's going to have a really good future.
Now, is this possibly Larry Walker's kid or no?
No, this dude looks like Hank Aaron, man. He's like 6'5", and just, I mean, his swing
he's
is
a 5-tool player.
Yeah, his swing is sweet, man. It's from the right side to say he has a smooth swing. I mean, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you got something to look up to, huh?
Yeah, and then the shortstop too, Mason Wynn. I think he'll be a top 20 prospect by the end of the season.
You guys have some pretty good leadoff hits too. What is it, Carlson and Edman?
Yeah. Yep.
I think Edman was batting ninth for a while, and then everyone started questioning why is he batting so low because he was on fire in the beginning of the season.
I mean, I think Edman got placed so low in the lineup just because of his spring training. I mean, his spring training, if you look at the numbers, he didn't impress necessarily. I think he had like 2 hits all spring. I think he had like 35, 40 at bats. So he wasn't doing too great in spring training. So I mean, I kind of understood why we started him off so low, but apparently during spring training he was working on a lot of things too. So yeah, right now you're seeing all of that stuff he was working on paying off.
Well, DraftKings never dropped his price either. Even though he was batting ninth in the lineup, I think he was still at like 3,600.
Yeah,
that's funny.
For a guy batting ninth in the lineup, that was unheard of.
They knew. Vegas knew. No, he's fun. I think he's just like that Cardinal player. Like I feel like the Cardinals just always have that scrappy person that nobody's really been high on or ever heard of that all of a sudden is an all-star for 3 or 4 years, and then he goes to a different team and he's not the same player. You know, he's just that kind of. And he's a great. I mean, he's fun to watch. They make it exciting. You know,
I feel like he's really similar to like a Chris Taylor for the Dodgers.
Yeah, plays everywhere. Glover, multiple positions. I mean,
can Chris Taylor get traded to the White Sox?
I'm not sure. I think he's still with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's kind of he ended our season last year.
He did with the walk-off off Reyes.
Yeah, I thought Pujols almost did.
I gotta ask, how excited were you to get Pujols back? You know, I mean, you knew he was gonna retire a Cardinal, but like Was there a lot of excitement bringing him back in and then seeing he's still being very productive? It seems like he's being more productive now than he was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the thing with Pools is he just has to be used correctly. I mean, he simply can't hit right-handed pitching really anymore. But I mean, if you're putting him in the situations where he can seed against left-handed pitching, starting a lefty in the DH role, and then maybe later in the game when a lefty's on the mound, maybe put Pools in to see if he can do something. But no, he's producing really well, and I was really excited whenever we signed him. Like I said earlier, kind of brings me back to my childhood, seeing him in the birds on the bat again.
Yeah, I think it's great. He also has like a 10-year deal with the Angels, like after he's done. So like he's got to go coach with them or be like an advisor or something. So I think this is kind of like a good way for us to stay. I'm not sure how that, I'm sure the Angels would let him come back if he's like inducted into the Cardinal Hall of Fame, but like it's kind of like that final goodbye before, I don't know how much he'll be around for like the opening day festivities and things like that.
On that note, I did actually hear that there was a buyout option for that. I mean, I don't know if Pools is willing to give up the money that he's making in that deal, but I did hear that there is a buyout option for that.
Really? Well, then it might be a situation where he takes the buyout and comes and works for the Cardinals. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome.
Yachty's the manager in 2 years.
Is he going to be the next Bobby Bonilla?
Yeah. What a deal for Bobby.
Oh, great deal. It's coming up, big day, big podcasting day, Bobby Bonilla day. Are you guys doing anything for it? I know in one of my other Shock Sports, he's talking about doing something for it, and I was like, all right, whatever.
I don't know. I honestly forgot about it until you said it. I'll have to say something to the guys. I think that'd be kind of funny. I mean, Bobby Bonilla's making more than most guys in the majors right now.
I think it's funny. I think Ken Griffey Jr. is 4th or 5th on the payroll for the Reds right now.
They're still paying Junior?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
It's like 3.4 or something this year.
He just had a ton.
It just started again. Apparently there was like a loophole or something. I don't know. I don't know the whole situation, but I just know that he's on the payroll this year, like 5th paid.
Speaking of Ken Griffey Jr., I know this is your podcast, but I did see this thing. You're a Pirates fan. So you had Bonds, you had Bonilla. But apparently the Pirates were supposed to have the number 1 pick in 87. And however the baseball rules worked out, the Mariners ended up getting the number 1 pick, and they got Griffey. But could you imagine if you had Griffey and Bonds in the same lineup for
that would have been
6 years?
Stupid.
I don't know if that's true. I just remember it was like a thing like that popped up on like Facebook or something. I don't know if that's a Pittsburgh Nation talks about it or not.
We would have been pretty excited considering the fact Griffey would have been a local boy playing.
Yeah.
For the home team, then I would have been excited. I mean, I loved watching Griffey in Seattle, so I could only imagine getting a chance to go see him play on a daily basis.
Right.
I mean,
did you know Griffey and Stan Musial were born in the same town, Denora, Pennsylvania?
No, I did not. I knew they were both from PA. I didn't know that stat, but that is a good stat.
Yeah, I think it's the same day too. Like same day, same town. Like
yeah, something
50
like
years
that.
apart or some shit.
Hold on, I'm making I'm old school. I'm writing shit down on pen and paper.
Yeah, because Cardinal Nation kind of makes a big deal about that every year, or at least like there's some kind of tweet that goes out like with Griffey or like, that sort of thing.
You feel Griffey was one of the best center fielders ever? Was he better than Edmonds?
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Griffey's on my all-time starting lineup.
So much better.
I was just wondering, you could have been a total homer there. I wouldn't even cared.
No, Griffey's 10-year run was like that's why I started watching baseball was Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. was just so cool.
Yeah, like Jeter had the jump throw and Griffey had just the swag in the outfield.
So, you guys care if we do like a 5-question trivia real quick, and then we'll move on to the lineups because I know Ian said I know we're over your time right now, but we'll do trivia real quick, then we'll do the all-time lineups. Is that cool? Because I didn't want to keep you guys because you guys are 45 minutes and we're at an hour. But that's what happens. That's what happens. That's what happens when we talk baseball. Sometimes we get carried away because we're guys.
True.
Love it.
All right, so who are the Cardinals' biggest rivals?
Ooh, I would say the Cubs, Reds,
Like Brewers, maybe Kansas City Royals,
Brewers.
I-70 rivalry.
Yeah, I would say the Royals are pretty big. Yeah, that'd be my top ones. I'd be Royals, Brewers, Reds, Cubs. No offense, Pirates.
Oh, that's fine. We're not very. If this is back in the '90s, it might be a whole different story. We did steal Andy Van Slyke from you guys, though, and Michael
Yep.
Valier. It is the Kansas City, the Show Me series,
Hmm.
and the downstate Illinois rivalry down I-55.
Yep, Cubbies.
And the Cubs lead the series 1,253 to 1,196. But the Show Me series, you guys only played them. It looks like in one major game, which was the World Series in
85.
85, and Kansas City won that one.
Yeah, that's still a BS call on first base though.
Yeah, I did read that one. I didn't watch it though. I think it's funny. The Brewers and Cubs are off I-94, and the Cubs and Cardinals are off I-55. So both of your stadiums are off of highways.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you could run two highways to go the whole way.
You could watch a lot of baseball.
You could. In 1985, Busch Stadium received what upgrade? The dugouts moved up. AstroTurf was installed. Natural grass was installed. And that's where it ended.
I would
I'm
say
gonna
the dugouts.
grass.
I would say the dugouts. I thought the grass was a little later. I thought the grass was like a 90s thing.
So Cardinals, you're going dugouts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go dugouts.
And Bud, you're going with
Going
the
grass.
grass. Gosh, people are gonna be like, what are they talking about grass for? Anyway, it was natural grass was installed in Busch Stadium in 1985. Okay, next question. 1987, the Padres and Cardinals played a 3-game set in the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Tokyo, or Hawaii.
I would have to go Dominican Republic. That would make the most sense.
I'm gonna go Hawaii.
It was Hawaii.
Dang.
I'm right.
They should still do that series. I'd go.
Baseball doesn't do a lot of international stuff.
I don't even know. It didn't say where they played though. It just said Hawaii. So I mean, I don't know if they played at what is that stadium? The Rainbow Stadium? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think it's the University of Hawaii Stadium. I think it's Rainbow.
Would have been a neat series to watch for sure.
Well, I would have traveled there to see it.
All right, so Vince Coleman won Rookie of the Year. Who else won it? Was it Ozzie Smith, Jack Clark, Andy Van Slyke, or Todd Whirl?
In the same year?
What's that?
You said in the same year, or you mean who else won the award overall?
Who won the award?
Wouldn't have been Smith. Smith was a rookie back in like 80 or 81, 79.
I'm going to go with Van Slyke because I don't think Van Slyke was on the 82 team.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. I'll go Van Slyke also.
Actually, it was Todd Whirl.
Damn, that's a good one. He was a stud for a little bit.
He was. I can't remember much about him, but you always heard his name pop up. Van Slyke was a hell of a center fielder too.
He was.
Yeah.
He still lives in the St. Louis area too.
I was going to ask. I believe he still lives. Yeah, I was going to say he still lives in St. Louis. And I think he still has a home in Pittsburgh too.
Really, I was gonna say I know his kids went to because one of his kids played for the Dodgers for a few years. He was a couple of years older than me. Then he had another son that was a little younger that went to like Michigan and played football. I think Michigan State. So he was out there producing athletes.
All right, so here's my last question. Which Cardinal managed and played? Joe Medwick, Roger Hornsby, Grover Cleveland, or Stan Musial?
Hornsby.
It was Hornsby, yeah.
Guys are correct. No, Hornsby, I read a lot of good things about that guy.
Yeah, he was a really good player.
I would have liked to have seen him play. I would have liked to have seen Honest Wagner play, obviously. I would have liked to seen Jackie Robinson play too. I think they all would have been, fun to watch.
I agree. I would have loved to be a baseball fan back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s.
When they were going to games in suits and smoking cigarettes on the
Jim Leland smoked in the dugout.
Yeah, those videos.
Yeah, he did.
Those were the days, man.
You ever seen the video of Jim Leland cussing out Barry Bonds?
Oh,
In
it's
like
been
a
a
spring
while.
training?
It has been a while since I've seen that video.
I have not seen it. You'll have to send that over to me, Mr. Rant.
Yeah, I got you.
I can't recall it. Sorry. I do remember
Pretty funny.
seeing it, but I'm probably gonna have to YouTube it now.
It's pretty funny.
I met Jimmy Leland. He's a nice guy.
Any guy who smokes cigarettes in the tunnel of the dugout is a nice guy.
You got to be.
All right, Leland bitching out Bonds. I'm gonna look that up on YouTube. Maybe we'll tag it to the video whenever we're done. All right. Since you guys did say Yin's got stuff to do, I don't want to hold Yin's over anymore. So we're gonna go over the all-time lineup, and then we're gonna call it a night, and then you guys can go do what you were maybe gonna do. Maybe you're not gonna do it now. I don't know.
Sounds good.
All right. So obviously, catcher, I went with Yadier Molina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That one's easy.
Your backup catcher is Ted Simmons, though, so that's not a bad 1-2 there.
Well, I thought you were going to say Tony Pena. He was there for a little bit. I think he came over in what, 80? He came to you guys, I think, 86.
I'm not sure. That's before my time.
Right.
That's
I'm just
creamy.
But if you ever get a chance to watch him catch, he always caught with his leg out.
Mm-hmm. I have a baseball card of him, and his leg is way out there. He's like sitting down almost.
Mm-hmm. That's how he caught every game. Probably saved his knees.
Probably.
I went pool host at first. I didn't find much competition here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any competition there, really. I mean, I know Musial played there for a couple seasons, but pools overall.
Yeah, Musial's right fielder.
Yeah, for me too.
Okay. I just went outfield. I didn't really break it down in position just to let everyone know.
Mm-hmm.
But we all went Musial in the outfield just so I can mark them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Musial over and right.
Okay. Now, what about second base?
That's a tough one.
I put Hornsby.
Hornsby was mine, but you also have Reg Chandius, who's a St. Louis guy, born and raised. I mean, he's from like 30 minutes east of St. Louis in Breeze.
True.
So I was like, damn, do I the 618 guy? Do I just throw him to the Wolves? So
yeah,
I probably got that wrong. I think he's from a different town besides Breeze. So
who was it?
Hornsby.
We're all going Hornsby.
Yeah, I'm going Hornsby. Sorry, Red.
He can be our super utility off the bench.
Oh, I'm down.
Third base. This one might be tricky.
Ooh.
Yeah,
See, I wanted to
you guys
put,
got a really good third baseman right now,
he hasn't played long enough, and then
and you've had a really good third baseman before him too, kind of.
Scott
I might have.
Rowland, yeah.
Yeah, Scott Rowland. That's what I was
I
talking
might have
about.
put the unpopular opinion here. I went with Ken Boyer.
I was going
That's
to
who
say Kim Boyer was the all-time.
That's who I went with, Ken Boyer. I went with Ken Boyer too.
I said Roland on mine only because I got to watch him play, but I'm not upset with Kim Boyer at all because he played longer with the Birds and won an MVP, and a couple World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't argue with either one of those two, I feel.
No, might be having a different conversation if we have this 2029 if Nolan stays with us.
I think he does.
Is the next position really talkable? Shortstop.
Everybody put Paul DeYoung, right?
Yeah, Paul DeYoung.
Paul DeYoung. Yep, yep. I did not take the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I put Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith was mine.
There's no other answer, I don't think.
No.
No, that's not even debatable. Edgar Renteria was like the last great shortstop we really had.
Played 82 to 96.
Yeah.
999 runs. He was not a home run guy. Ozzie Smith was not your home run guy.
But he still has one of the most famous home runs in Cardinal history.
He does the Game 6 home run, right?
Go crazy, folks.
Yeah. The Jack Buck call.
World Series, right?
Yeah.
That was at LCS.
LCS, yeah. It was LCS.
Or DS.
He only had 27 home runs in his career, but that glove, what was it, 15, 16 straight years of the gold glove?
Yeah, he was a monster.
He was kind of like Yachty.
You know? Okay, no, I'm sorry. It was 13 consecutive gold gloves and 15 All-Star appearances. Damn. And a fun fact about the one World Series in 82, the year he came over.
A fun fact about Ozzie Smith is that he never broke his gloves in either.
He played with a brown paper bag growing up.
Yeah,
and then someone gave him a glove, and he's like, "This game just became really easy."
Yeah.
Who says that?
That's awesome.
I mean, unless you're Ozzie Smith, it's the only way you can do it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I went with Lou Brock. I felt that was an obvious choice.
Yeah, Lou Brock's over and left.
Center field's a tough one.
Did you go Brock?
Yeah, I went Brock and left. We have Musial and right, and then center
field.
I
put Edmonds at center.
I said Willie McGee.
Willie McGee's a good one too because he was really good, and he won an MVP.
Yeah, he won an MVP was the only reason I gave him the leg up. But I mean, Edmonds' 5-year run with the Cardinals was unreal.
Yeah,
6-year run, whatever it was, 2000 to 2006.
Mm-hmm. 2007 or 8.
I went with Enos Slaughter.
That's a good one too.
That's a really good one.
Hall of Famer. Over 1,000 runs.
I forgot about Enos Slaughter. Wow, how did I forget about a Cardinal?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are going Edmonds?
Yeah, I went Edmonds.
I went McGee, but Enos Slaughter is obviously a great choice.
I went Edmonds as my DH.
Oh, we had a DH too. Damn.
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that. Didn't I mention that it was going to be at today's lineup? I thought I did.
It's all good.
Like you said, you told me present day. My DH, I got Mark McGwire.
Oh,
that's solid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Red Cheney's then as my DH because they got to put the 618 guy in the lineup.
That's fair.
Okay. And pitching, this was tough. I mean, obviously I went with Bob Gibson. I felt he was the best one, but you guys might have went different. Being in St. Louis, seeing all these pitchers come through there.
Bob Gibson was mine, number one. I mean, I didn't know if we were going to go like a mini rotation or not, so I listed 3, but
I just went with one day. I just went with like a 1-day lineup thing.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah. I got Gibby at the top for me too.
Because some of these lineups, like the top 5 could have went top 6, top 7, and I was like, I can't dig this deep,
It's all
So
good.
I just went with like a 1-day lineup of all-time great. I didn't go deep into depth. I mean, some people like to break it all down and go into bench depth, and I'm like, no, whoa. We're doing one thing at a time.
That's a little too much.
Right.
Yeah.
I went Jason Isringhauser.
Is
That's
there
my
anything for
closer.
your closer? I got Bruce Sutter.
Yeah, I got Suter as well.
Although Izzy's a really good choice too.
Izzy's a 618 guy as well, so I could have.
Yeah, Izzy actually coached over at SIUE for a while.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Yeah, but Izzy has I like the fact that he has your all-time save record.
Yeah,
that's true.
So if I'm going with the save, I mean, I want the old Isringhauser, the one that came up, the one that was throwing lights out. That's the guy I want.
That's a fair pick. I almost picked Izzy, so
yeah, I just gave Suter the nod because he's a baseball Hall of Famer too.
Same.
So, which is hypocritical because my center fielder I didn't even know.
That's why it's your lineup, man. That's why that's why we let you make it. I mean, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear strategy. I like to hear what fans do, what fans think. And you guys being in St. Louis or in Missouri, you get to look at this team a little more in depth than say someone like me from Pittsburgh, who's not going to hear everything about them unless they research them.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the one thing I like about that's the one thing I love about my show is I get a chance to hear people outside view on their team.
No, I like it.
It's
how do you just ask people to come on, kind of like you did us, or kind of?
Yeah, that's like you guys. I just reached out, and said, "Hey, you guys want to talk Cardinals?"
I'm always down to talk some Cardinal baseball.
I like it. I'll have to see if I can run rivalry week again. I'd like to have everyone I had on so far in the division come on and talk like a little bit after or before the All-Star break, see how everyone's doing. And then that way, we could have like a big round table. I think that'd be pretty wild. I'd have to stay neutral though.
You have to bring one of your buddies on to be the Pirates fan.
I've been trying to get my best friend to come on. He works at the stadium. I've known him since 2003, 2002. But yeah, I mean, we've traveled together. We've gone and I'm like, dude, we got to make time for this. And then every time he's like, I'm off, I'm going out. So we just haven't gotten to it yet. So, but I'm starting to hassle him a little bit more. With the Reds, I did late night Reds.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a chance to check out his show, he does it on Wednesday nights at 10:00 Eastern time. Really, really good dude, Tim McDaniel.
I'll look at it.
And then NFL Outdated and Chase Orton. Orton did the Brewers and NFL Outdated did the Cubs. They did, like I said, if you wanted to listen to them too, they did a really good rivalry on Monday. And yeah, they kicked ass. They're good. But yeah, I'd like to have everyone on for a roundtable. I think it'd be fun.
That'll be good. I'll have to talk to some of the other guys with the buds and see if they want to maybe join or do something like that as well. Maybe
on StreamYard, I can only get up to 10, so let me know. Let me know, because that's all I can handle.
No, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll talk to him and see. So,
I mean, unless yins are all sitting together, then it all makes sense. But I don't know how close yins are, or if yins have a studio, or if you're
we don't have I'm using my work computer for this. This just all came out of left field for me to start doing this thing.
So you guys are still learning on the fly too.
Oh man, yeah, 100%. I'm just kind of winging it, and like I said, I talk enough Cardinal baseball, and I mean, I don't mind talking to a computer, giving my opinion. Like my opinion fucking matters,
Now, Cardinal, how long have you been doing? How long have you been doing this? Both you guys, I guess.
I mean, I've probably had my. I mean, I don't do anything like you guys do, but I've probably been on my Twitter for, I don't know, probably a year and a half now or so. Just keep on talking a bunch of baseball stuff. I thought about starting to try to write some articles about stuff that I find interesting, but I got to find the time with work. It's kind of hard to dedicate too much time to, the hobby sometimes.
Now, C70 is obviously a huge Cardinals fan. Are you guys following him?
I'm not sure.
I think it's C70.
C70. I'm not sure. I'll have to. We might be.
I'm trying to remember. Billy Graves covers a little bit of Milwaukee, and then he looks into people he talks to. But he said I want to say it's C70. I don't remember, but said that it was he's pretty intense. You guys might want to reach out to him. Maybe Ince could do a big podcast like this and, just talk Cardinals in depth.
Yeah, I'll check him out for sure.
But Billy Graves is the one you want to look to if you want to find him real quick.
Billy Graves.
He helps with the Brewers. He came on and we did a Nashville Sounds one. Excellent. Newest shit inside and out.
Is it the Hit City Pod? Billy Graves, Brewers. This is my crew.
Yeah, Hit City. Yeah, Slasher Sports. Slasher Sports. Holy cow!
Yeah, Slasher Sports.
I butchered that one. I was like, what?
Yeah, I hit him with a follow.
But really, really good insight. If you want to catch up on the division a little bit, but yeah, maybe we could all do a big roundtable. I'd love it. I love having people on. It's fun. Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Getting to know people. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the more people you get, the more talking.
Right. That's like I said. That's the way I looked at it, man. I think what really got me was the 30-30 with John Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, John just goes around and talks to everybody, and he doesn't care. He gets to know them, and I was like, I already talked to everyone. I used to work at the airport, so like I've met Prince Fielder, I've met Sid Bream, I've met Jim Leland, Prince Fielder. My list goes on, but not bragging or anything. But I got used to talking to these people, so I was like, I already talked to these people. Why not? Let's do this.
Yeah.
And my buddies all run the sports one, so I was like, I can do my own thing and still talk sports with them about the national picture. I was like, This is awesome. So, but hey, guys, it has been fun. If you want to, I know we got to run because you guys said it. But if you guys want to tell people how to get a hold of you and how to follow you, and that way we can get it out there. And I've had an absolute blast tonight. I learned a lot.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at CardsRant. Love to talk baseball. If you DM me, talk about anything you want about baseball or just whatever. So, yeah.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Anytime you want to talk some baseball, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm here for it as well. You can get us at Buds on the Bat on Twitter, and like Cole said, shoot us a DM. I'm more than happy to have you guys jump on our podcast or whatever the situation is later on. This has been a fun time. Definitely enjoyed it.
I'm all for it, man. I could bring my crew too. I do run two different. I co-host on two different podcasts. So, Moon Cutters and Shock Sports. So, if we want to do a little roundtable with all the guys, let's do it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Just let me know.
I'm all for it, man. So, but definitely it has been fun, and we are done talking sports tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for stepping on and coming on the show tonight. And
not a problem.
And we are signing out.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
All right, no problem, guys.
See you.